Hey everybody, welcome to the Queer Wellbeing Sessions with me, Sarah. I've got Amanda coming tonight to join me to talk about the pillars of wellness. I just love the sound of that. I can't wait to see what she's going to share with us. Hey Nikki, how you doing? Happy Friday. How's your week been? Lovely to see you. Hey, thanks for the wave. I'm just waiting for Amanda to join us. I'm really looking forward to tonight's session. I think she's going to be sharing some really powerful insights with us. I'm glad you've had a good week. Yeah, it's really great to see you joining. Hey, smart yab. If you want to let me know your names as you're joining, and yeah, share your pronouns as well if you like. How often do you share your pronouns, out of curiosity? Do you find it's something that happens? Do people ask you? Do people share their pronouns with you? Is it becoming more commonplace? I don't think it is, personally. I don't see it happening, but I'm always interested to know other people's experiences of things like that. I think while I'm waiting for Amanda to join. Hi Amanda, we're gonna request hey. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah.
You all right?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Oh, it's so nice to see you.
Yes, and you, my lovely. I'm really looking forward to tonight's session.
Yeah, me too.
And I was just about to, hey Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
You two know each other, don't you? Yeah. I was just about to just do a brief intro, just to remind people what these sessions are all about, these Friday night sessions. And then we'll kind of crack on with hearing from you, Amanda, and what you've got to share with us tonight. So
Great.
yeah, I have been doing these wellbeing sessions each week, primarily to create a space for the queer community where we can come together, where we can really spend some time thinking about our well-being and taking care of ourselves and all that that means. So I think it's so important for everybody, but for us in the LGBTQ plus community, knowing that we struggle with our mental health in particular, more than non-LGBTQ plus people. You know, statistically, and who knows how accurate those statistics are, but statistically mental health struggles are double that of people who are not in the LGBTQ plus community. So that is, you know, a huge kind of problem really that I would like to try and do anything I can to support. And the other thing that I think is really great about these sessions, these Friday night sessions, is that I get to chat to some amazing well-being and coaches, well-being professionals and coaches who are in the LGBTQ plus community themselves, about the things that they do, you know, and giving you watching maybe some ideas about how you can incorporate more well-being and wellness into your lives on a daily basis. So that's really what these sessions are all about. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Amanda. I like to start with introducing myself. So I'm Sarah, I'm a gay woman, and I use the pronouns she, her, and hers. And Amanda, if you'd like to tell us who you are and the pronouns that you use, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm Amanda, and same pronouns, she, her, and I'm just really happy to be here.
Wonderful.
I dressed up for it.
Oh, yes. Nice. I've got my my lei, I think. Oh, you can't see it now.
Oh, I see.
There it is.
Oh.
my gay thing.
And you have another little rainbow in the corner there, didn't you? I saw another little rainbow somewhere there.
Ah. Oh, yes, I have. Yeah, my card.
Yeah.
So, Amanda, do you want to tell us a bit about what you do in the wellness and coaching space, and what you love about it? And I think one of the things I always find really interesting is how you kind of got to doing the work, and maybe how it supported your own sort of healing journey, if that's the case. So that's quite a lot of stuff. Start wherever you like, and just sort of perhaps share with us why the work that you do is, I guess the message is why it's so powerful and how it can help other people.
Yeah, sure. So I used to work in television. I was a media producer and director for documentary and factual entertainment. And while I was working in television, sometimes we were working 70-hour weeks, and there are a lot of bad habits when you're on set. So you're drinking coffee all the time, you're reaching for quick foods, and sleep is hard to come by. There's a lot of substance abuse. So people are really not being very kind to their bodies, and because of that, wellness is not optimal. And so I found myself having a lot of conversations with people about fatigue, energy levels, stress, digestive problems. And at the time I was vegan. So I was really into nutrition and how nutrition impacts your well-being anyway. So I sort of came to a point where I realized that a television career, especially in this country, being American, working in documentary and factual entertainment, maybe wasn't the best path for me. So I decided to do a career change, and I started studying nutrition. And about 2 years into studying nutrition, I learned so much about nutrients, about what food actually is. And I changed my whole diet. So I stopped
you were
being
vegan, you said, didn't you?
Yeah, I was vegan for about 8 years, up until about 2 years into studying nutrition. And then I started to bring in fish and eggs, and slowly I started to bring in all animal protein. And so I've been a practicing clinical nutritionist for about 10 years, working primarily with children and families, and a lot of women. I so many people with chronic conditions, autoimmune conditions, gut health problems, and then after spending some time working primarily with diet and lifestyle to help modify behavior and optimize wellness, I realized that there's more to wellness than diet alone. And that's when I started to bring in mindfulness, meditation, and movement. And I think that came from my own experience of using it as well.
So when you say chronic conditions, just for people that might not
so
what you mean, what sort of examples are things that
you're
talking about?
My cat keeps jumping on the plant and it's a little bit distracting. Sorry. You get out of here. So a chronic lifestyle condition is oftentimes something that is manageable or reversible through diet, lifestyle, and holistic practices. And it's things like diabetes, weight gain, autoimmune conditions, gut health problems, IBS, even irritable bowel disease is a chronic condition. And all of these, you know, kind of modern day illnesses that we see regularly, and all of these kind of modern day chronic conditions that put you at more risk for COVID even, all of these things we can work with through diet, lifestyle, mindset, movement, all of that, you know. Really powerful things you can do through diet and lifestyle.
So those conditions then, from what I understand, is that they then reduce your ability to fight off, reduce your ability to fight off or deal with other conditions and things as well, or increase your risk. Is that kind of fair to say, or is that kind of going a bit into a world of some people might say this and some people might, a bit less proven or whatever? Oh, you've broken up a bit. Crucial, badly worded question. You're back. Are you back? Can you hear me? You there? Yeah, that was a very badly worded. Oh no, I've lost you. Bear with. Anyone that used to watch Miranda. Didn't she say, that woman on there used to say, bear with? Or was it Miranda that said bear with? I can't remember. Rachel's saying, I wouldn't have recovered from chronic fatigue and all the digestive problems it caused without your nutritional knowledge and support. Oh. Here we go. Amanda's coming back. Who's coming back? Hey. Hey.
Shall we try?
You're a bit grainy now.
Am I grainy?
You're a bit grainy. I can hear you. That's a good start.
Should I try switching to 4G?
Well, you could try.
Let me try. You stay there, okay?
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Okay, Nikki.
How's that?
Thank you. It's the same, but maybe it'll clear up.
Okay.
Who knows?
Okay.
So yeah, I was just asking about, I suppose I was thinking about the increased inflammation and things like that, you know, from those chronic diseases, and then maybe how that reduces your ability to fight off other things, or maybe increases your risk of getting other things.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So inflammation and gut health, those will be the two sort of underlying things that you're working with when you're dealing with these chronic lifestyle conditions. Those are the key things that you'll want to look at to start modifying and working with.
Yeah. Okay. And then so then you were saying the other things that come in are the movement and the mindfulness.
Yeah. So for me, what I consider to be the pillars of wellness are nutrition, movement, sleep, and mental and emotional well-being. I think those are the things that we need to look at closely in our lives if we're going to really try to deal with all of the challenges that we're faced with in this modern world. Yeah.
Do you have like a framework or anything like that that you work with people that you could?
Yeah, I do. So when I either work with clients as a nutrition lifestyle client, or I work with them as like a whole holistic self-care package.
Okay.
So when I'm doing like more nutrition focused work, we do a lot of work around dietary interventions and some therapeutic supplementation. So we look at foods that we can exclude and foods that we can include, and we look at things that might be causing inflammation, that might be causing gut problems, that might be causing intolerances, and we look at what we can bring in also to support the nervous system or support female reproductive hormones, fertility. That's another chronic lifestyle condition, infertility. So
What's that caused by then?
infertility?
Yeah.
Who knows, right? So it could be environmental toxins, it could be xenoestrogens, it could be chronic stress, it could be gut health, it could be your inflammatory cascade. There's so many things. It will vary from person to person. So when I work with someone, my initial consultation is usually about 70 to 80 minutes long, so we can really get a clear picture of what's going on in their lives, their previous medical history, their previous stress and emotional history, and we take all of that into consideration. Some labs, we work with all of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's getting the sort of as much information as you can from that person.
Yeah, and really tailoring it to their unique needs and their unique biology.
Yeah. So when you're looking at these pillars of wellness, so are these like, so you've got nutrition, movement, sleep,
yes,
mindfulness. These are all the pillars. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I consider to be
mindfulness. There's one more, isn't there?
Well, mindfulness, it's really like mental and emotional well-being.
Okay, mental and emotional well-being. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all of them?
Yeah. Has my picture cleared up?
What?
Has the picture cleared up, or am I still?
Yes, your picture's cleared up now.
Yay.
Do you have anything like a like, I'm just thinking about the people that have joined us and that are watching, in terms of something that they can, what would be like the things that you think would be that we can kind of make sure that we're thinking about on a daily basis that's not too complicated or difficult to kind of incorporate into our life, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. So I think
key things.
It's kind of all about managing stress, our stress response. And I think this is such a good lesson, because even though some of us might not think we're stressed or we're managing our stress levels, there is absolutely no way anyone living in the world right now is not stressed.
I'm laughing because I just, like me, I think I've only just realised, well, not only just, but like, in the last couple of years, realised the amount of anxiety and stress that I do have, because I've just sort of, told myself that I don't, or that I've ignored it and all sorts. Yeah,
because that's what we're encouraged to do, aren't we? So we're encouraged to hustle, and we're encouraged to put in 110%, and we're encouraged to sleep as little as possible and work as hard as possible and burn candles at both ends, burn the candle at both ends.
Be strong and be resilient and be, all of this, like,
Yeah, and also
hold it all together.
Yeah, all of it. And when we talk about anxiety, oftentimes we talk about the most extreme versions of anxiety. So people might not know how anxiety might show up for them, you know? And so I think that what we need to do is to really get still and quiet and look at our lives and figure out where it's showing up in our lives, because it is, and what's sort of the triggers for it. But regardless of that, there are things that we can do to manage our stress. So we can make sure that, so 2 things, for example, for nutrition that you can do is make sure that you regulate your blood sugar. Okay, so I know this is really boring. Talk about blood sugar regulation. But
we're not allowed cake, people.
But no cake for breakfast.
Oh, okay. I've got lots of hearts.
But yeah, so this might be something like making sure that you eat 30 minutes after waking up to help your body, because when you wake up, your body starts producing cortisol. That's what helps you to wake up, and that's also your stress hormone. So right now, everyone's just going to be pumping cortisol through their body all day, every day. Okay, so eat some food, and eat something that might be like protein rich, fat rich, so your blood sugar, so you're not spiking your blood sugar. Okay,
protein rich and fat rich. No, Rachel, we're not allowed cake.
Okay.
30 minutes after you get up.
Yeah,
So like eggs and
a boiled egg or scrambled eggs and some whole wheat toast. Or what I like to do is have like a really nourishing smoothie with lots of fats in it. So avocado, flax seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, yogurt, all of that stuff.
Yogurt.
Yeah. Another thing is to increase your magnesium. So magnesium is a nutrient that's considered nature's Valium, right? So we all know what Valium is, right? It's something that
not sure where this is going.
It's a pill that you pop and it makes you feel good. No. So yeah, magnesium is like nature's Valium. So it brings calm into
I've never heard that before, and I do take magnesium. I've never heard it being nature's Valium.
Yeah. So if you think of it like your body's always contracting and then relaxing, so magnesium helps your body to relax, but it also helps to manufacture a neurotransmitter that helps to decrease anxiety and bring calm into the body. So some magnesium rich foods that you can include are all of your greens. So greens, nuts and seeds, cashews, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, dark chocolate.
Yes.
Dark chocolate.
Yes, Rachel, we know there's magnesium. It has to be dark chocolate, doesn't it?
By the way, Rachel's my partner, if anyone watching doesn't know. That's why she's
being cheeky.
Yeah, that's why she's basically the third person in this conversation. Dark chocolate. So, make sure you're buying good quality dark chocolate. It's Christmas, so there's going to be a lot of chocolate going around. Just make sure you get some good quality dark chocolate. And, so those are 2 things that people can do nutritionally to help manage stress. Blood sugar regulation and increased magnesium-rich foods.
Yeah. I like those because they're not the normal things that people say. People normally say water and, this sort of stuff. So
Yeah. Well, that's good. So I'm offering something different.
Yes.
Good. Yeah.
Any other things? And any other pillars?
Yeah, so also coffee, right? So a lot of people love their coffee, right? I love my coffee. But we don't want to be surviving on coffee. So have a caffeine curfew, because coffee will increase our cortisol levels, and it also will stay in the body for like 8 or 9 hours. So if you're having a cup of coffee at like 3:30, that's going to be affecting your nervous system until 9,
Okay.
10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And so what your body naturally wants to do is, when it gets darker, you want your cortisol levels to start to drop, and you want your melatonin to increase, because your melatonin is the hormone that basically it kind of drives your circadian rhythm. So it drives your sleep cycles. Yeah, so that tells you it's time to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Time to go to sleep.
So no coffee after a certain time, like 9 hours before you're going to go to bed.
I mean, I'd say stop drinking coffee by 10:30 or 11,
In the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is there anything that can support the melatonin? Or I suppose that supports the melatonin in a way.
Yeah, so how it kind of works, I mean, it's all very complex, but how it kind of works is, right, so our serotonin and our melatonin work together. So we know that our serotonin is like our feel-good happiness hormone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of our serotonin is, it's produced in our brain and it's produced in our gut. But yeah, to support your melatonin, really the best thing you can do is monitor your stress levels. So you're monitoring your cortisol levels. And then another thing is blue light. So blue light mimics daylight from your phone, blue light from your phone. And if you've got your phone in your face, which I'm guilty of doing, everyone is guilty of doing, before bed, even 90 minutes before bed, then that's like having the sun shining down on you. And so how are you going to produce melatonin when your body thinks that the sun's still out? So just put the phone away, people, Amanda included.
Put the phone away.
Yeah.
So we've got a question about reducing cortisol from someone called Rachel. How else can we reduce cortisol?
You tell me, Rach. So we can reduce cortisol so many ways. Okay, so blood sugar regulation is one way. Monitoring our stress is another way. Moving your body, gentle movement. So things like HIIT training and extreme fitness, that might increase cortisol levels, but gentle movement, things like walking, especially walking in nature, all of that will help to reduce cortisol.
Yeah.
If
you feel it reducing when you're out there.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
How else can we reduce cortisol? Magnesium. Breath work can help to reduce meditation can help to reduce cortisol. In fact, interestingly, for women, the only two proven ways to reduce cortisol levels is meditation and orgasm. So there you go. So have sex, have an orgasm.
You heard it first here.
Yeah.
Probably not first, but
Which I imagine not many people are doing in lockdown and during the pandemic. But I hope they are, but probably not.
I'm not quite sure where you're coming from there.
Well, because people are always...
Because we're a bit stressed out.
We're stressed.
And because they're with each other all the time. They're like fed up seeing each other.
Yeah, it's like, oh, just go away, Yeah, I don't know. it's not how we are, but I think that, you know, talking to a lot of people,
Yeah.
people need a break. People are, you know, it's tough,
Yeah.
tough in relationships right now.
Mm. Mm. Okay, so we've got the eating 30 minutes after you wake up. We've got the magnesium, which is nature's Valium. I really like that. I'm going to
Yeah.
remember that one. We've got the coffee curfew, getting out in nature, reducing your cortisol with that, meditation, moving gently.
Yeah.
Loads of things there that we can.
Blood sugar regulation.
Which was that, sorry?
Blood sugar regulation.
Yeah.
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 Make sure, you know, you want to eat with every meal to manage your blood sugar. You really want to make sure that you have protein and fat, because that helps to release your energy, release the glucose more slowly.
Yeah. Yeah. And what would you say about carbs then?
Yeah, carbs
Without
are
this turning
essential.
into a whole thing around nutrition, but like in depth, but obviously, yeah, the protein and fat are kind of like the priority to get into our each of our meals.
So carbs are an essential macronutrient. So we don't want to forget about carbohydrates, but I feel like people don't have a problem eating carbohydrates. You know, when I have food
So
diaries.
true though, isn't it? That's why I'm laughing. It's like there's no problem with kind of think, but I could probably eat a meal that's got hardly any protein for sure in it. Fat,
Yeah.
probably not that much fat either. But
Yeah.
carbs is not a problem. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that it's just being a little bit more vigilant with all three of your macronutrients: protein,
Yeah.
fat, and carbohydrates.
Yeah. 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 Thinking about it a bit more.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. And what sort of in terms of the sort of changes that we might see or experience, I suppose based maybe on your own experience and maybe your clients, in terms of making small changes,
Yeah.
like how soon could we start to feel better, I guess, kind of thing.
You know, I'm so happy you asked me this, because just today I was watching the sunset, and I was thinking, I was watching because it was a beautiful sunset tonight, and you could really, the clouds were just really magical, how they were moving through, and the light was passing through, and I was thinking, like, if I had this on a time lapse, you would be able to see how it's changing, but because it's changing so slowly, the human eye doesn't see how much it changes, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is what we need to sort of think about, how we need to approach change in our lives, like a time-lapse sunset. So small and so slowly that you barely notice it. But after 3 to 6 months, you've made so much change that your whole life is different.
Yeah.
And that can really set you up for success. Because again, if you take that sort of Western mindset of 110% hustle, 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 and you dive in, you know, you might have 2 weeks in you, 3 weeks in you, and then you kind of might revert back to old habits or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But small change, you know, like a time-lapse sunset is I think how the most impact can show up in your life. So simple things like increasing magnesium, a caffeine curfew, and reducing the blue light before bed.
Yeah. And what that's making me think about is this the fact that everything that we put into our body or give our body, whether that is time in nature, whether that is drinking a coffee or having that protein rich, you know, whether it's like that, it's always in this state of finding balance, isn't it? Our body, it's always changing, but on a very, like you say, a very gradual, in a very gradual way, but it's never staying the same. And it's always like working to find that balance for us, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So everything that we do is having an impact, even though we don't necessarily see it or in that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right, which is why I think that a lot of people might feel maybe they're not as
Let's give up or think, oh, this is nothing's happening. I'm not, I'm not whatever it is they're expecting or that they, that they think they want, but it is happening.
It is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Wonderful. Okay. Well, I wonder if anyone's got any questions about that. Any of the things that we've talked about. Okay, Kirsty. So we've got quite a few really great tips, I think, and things that, like I say, I've not necessarily heard before about the things that you've talked about. For anyone.
I also would like to add one more thing, is alcohol. So I know that
our favorite subject.
Say again.
Our favorite subject. I said, I can't believe you haven't mentioned it yet.
Let's talk about alcohol. We all know that during this pandemic, alcohol sales have skyrocketed and that people are using it to self-medicate. They are using it as a coping mechanism, particularly women. And, I totally get it, right? Glass of wine of an evening, 1 or 2 nights a week, fine, whatever. But that's not how people are using it. What it does is it will impact your stress. It will decrease nutrients that we need to create energy. And it will also interrupt our sleep cycles. So if we are trying to get that quality sleep, alcohol interferes with our deep delta sleep, which is where our body sort of integrates and assimilates, right? So that's all day we're in a catabolic state. We're breaking down. And while we sleep, that's when our body rebuilds. And we need that quality sleep to do this. And if we don't get it, if we don't get that deep delta sleep and our REM sleep, then it impacts our mood and it impacts our regeneration, our regenerative abilities. So I just really want to encourage people to, if they are finding that they're having a bit of a problem managing their alcohol intake or they're questioning their relationship with it, to talk to someone, talk to me, talk to you. There's so many people out there who are offering help to give you alternatives to support you in this. So not only will it help your mental and emotional well-being, but you will start sleeping better, and that will impact everything.
And it's worth saying, I'm sure you won't mind me mentioning it, that both you and I have been through our own challenging relationships with alcohol. And I haven't had, it's nearly 3 years now since I drank. But have absolutely, used alcohol most of my life to kind of what I thought then was support myself, but it wasn't quite what it was doing. And I think it's really absolutely, key to what you're saying. What I've learned about it is all the things, talking about reducing cortisol, it's just going to have the opposite effect. And inflammation in the body and sugar and, all of that stuff, that is all of the amazing things that you've been talking about, to support ourselves tonight. it's our body struggles to do what it needs to do when if we are it depends, you know, obviously like limited amount of alcohol is a different thing, but if you're anything like I was and drinking a bottle of wine at night at least, then I think your body's going to really struggle to process that on top of taking care of you and like getting all the nutrients and the goodness out of everything else that you're doing to help yourself. So
yeah,
I think it's a really important point.
And yeah, you know, I'm 4 years nearly 4 years sober, and that's the thing, is that when you see it as the solution to your problems, then you have a really hard time seeing it as a problem, right? So it's in no way a solution to anything. And the statistics around women and how women are becoming bigger drinkers than men now, and how you know, alcohol is increasing disease and death among women, particularly breast cancer. It's quite frightening.
Yeah.
You know, so and you walk into the supermarket and all you see are chocolates and aisles of booze, you know. So
true. That's so true.
yeah. So
you get through the door, it's there, isn't it?
It is. It's the
Especially
first thing
like
you
now.
think to. Yeah. So that was just the last thing that I wanted to add, you know, especially if you want that nourishing quality sleep. You might think that alcohol will help you do that, but it's not.
No. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So as Amanda said, if anyone's watching and if you want to talk about or have any questions about anything around the nutrition and the mindfulness and the pillars of wellness that Amanda's been talking about, then she's here for that. So you can send her a message, I'm sure. I'll put the link to her Facebook page. Are we on Facebook? No. Her Instagram account under the video, under the IGTV replay. And anything else that we've talked about, I'm here as well, always. So all you need to do is send me a DM, and I'm here to support you. And thank you for being here. Thank you so much for everyone coming and joining us. And yes, as well, I know there's some allies listening, watching. So thank you to you. Really, really appreciate you supporting us and being here and helping us to create greater equality and inclusion and equal love.
That's right.
Equal love.
Equal love. Yeah.
Because that's what we need in the world.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Amanda. And I'll catch you all really soon.
Thanks, Sarah.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Lots of love.
You too. Bye.
Bye. See ya.